Famous Guitars, episode number 48. Well, you take a progressive rock band, put a bunch of polka dots on them, some really long noses, and just an odd microtonal sound that's a little disturbing. You might think I'm talking about this guitar right here. And of course, I'm talking about something truly unconventional, a microtonal lead bass guitar associated with the experimental project of Angine de Poitrine. This isn't just a different way of playing guitar, it's a complete rethinking of what the guitar is. To understand this instrument, we first need to talk about a concept that challenges the very foundation of Western music, microtonally speaking. Most of the music you hear every day is built on a system of 12 notes per octave, the familiar tuning used in pianos, guitars, and most modern instruments. But microtonal music goes beyond that. It explores the spaces between those notes, tones that don't exist on a standard fretboard. Those in-between notes can sound unsettling, emotional, alien, or deeply expressive, depending on how they're used. Now enter Angine de Poitrine. Not just a musical project, but a sonic experiment. The name itself invokes tension and pressure, and that's exactly what the music delivers. Dense textures, emotional strain, and a sense of instability. At some point, the project's evolution, standard instruments certainly weren't enough. Traditional guitar and bass tuning systems wouldn't capture the tonal ambiguity and expressive nuance the artist was searching for. So instead of adapting the music to the instrument was adapted to the music. The result? A microtonal lead bass guitar hybrid. This instrument was either heavily modified or custom built, often by altering the fretboard itself. Instead of evenly spread frets designed for the 12-note system, additional frets are inserted between or existing ones are repositioned. Sometimes builders create entire fretless or partially fretted designs to allow for sliding pitches, giving the player fluid control over every micro-interval. In this case, the Angine de Poitrine sound, the goal wasn't precision in traditional sense, it was expression through instability. So, how did the idea come about? Like many experimental innovations, it likely started with dissatisfaction, a feeling that conventional tuning was just too limiting, too clean, or too predictable. Artists working with avant-garde noise or experimental genres often reach a point where standard harmony feels exhausted. Microtonality offers a way out, a new emotional vocabulary. By combining this with bass lead hybrid approach, the instrument could function both rhythmically and melodically, but without being locked into familiar tone rules. There's also a historic thread here. Microtonal instruments aren't new. Composers like Harry Partch in the 20th century famously built entirely new instruments to explore non-Western tuning systems. In many ways, what we see with Angine de Poitrine is part of the same lineage, but translated into modern DIY underground music context. Instead of orchestras and custom-built wooden instruments, we get a modified electric guitar distortion with raw experimentation. What makes the instrument especially interesting is how it blurs roles. Is it bass, a lead guitar, a noise generator? The answer is, quite frankly, all of the above. With microtonal frets and extended range, the instrument can move from low-end rumble to piercing melodic lines, often within the same phrase. And because the tuning system is unfamiliar, it creates a sense of tension that never quite resolves. The unresolved feeling becomes part of the identity of the music. There's also a physical aspect to it. Playing a microtonal guitar isn't easy. Muscle memory built from standard instruments no longer applies. Every note requires intention. Every interval has to be felt, not just remembered. In a way, the instrument forces the musician to relearn how to listen. So what does this all mean for the music as a whole? Instruments like a microtonal bass lead guitar used in Angine de Poitrine reminds us that music is not fixed. The systems we take for granted, scales, tuning, harmony, are just one way of organizing sound. By breaking those systems, artists open the door to entirely new emotional landscapes. Some listeners might find it disorienting. Others might find it deeply moving, but no one hears it and thinks, this is ordinary. And that's the beauty of it. From dissatisfaction to invention, from limitation to exploration, the story of this instrument is really the story of curiosity pushing boundaries. And there you are. There is your Famous Guitars, episode number 48, Angine de Poitrine's microtonal guitar bass thing. And like, share, and follow for more Famous Guitars. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe and comment below. See you for the next one.